Okay, I think my compositors may be fixed now, so that's good. I don't see it flashing. All right, cool. I'm gonna move this over here, and then what's up, Reinhardt? How's it going, buddy? Let me know if it starts flashing again, and I'll go to the minimized versions. How about that? But it doesn't look like it in my VOD at least, so. I need to do a deployment, so I'm waiting for this build to finish. Do milk. Already did milk. We have cocoa fruit milk. It's our only food currently. Bum, bum, bum. But yeah, I have to deploy a patch first. So I do need to do a little bit of testing real quick, and then we'll actually get into some development. So bear with me. My build is running still. I guess I can work while it's building. I could also deploy afterwards too. I restarted my computer since then, so I think that that's what fixed it. So is it still flashing? Oh, is it? Let me look. Bum, bum, bum. Oh yeah, it is still going. Dang, that sucks. Okay, we'll go to windowed. What GPU do I have? A 1070. Or actually, no, this computer doesn't have a GPU. My other computer has a 1070. This one just has a APU. No, it's an APU. It's got a integrated GPU. I might restart Emacs. Emacs has this weird, man. Emacs is such a piece of crap sometimes, I swear. What kernel am I on? I have no idea. Whatever the latest Arch one is. It's just some upgrade that caused all of this. I'm not sure what it is. It's some regression that happened in some package that I installed. Yeah, I don't know if it's a kernel problem. I think it's probably some other package. Something with the compositor or something like that. Boom, boom. All right, let's do, how's my build doing? Still going. All right, let's do food then. Boom, 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 boom. I could have the client open and windowed just so it's not constantly flashing. Let me do that really quickly. Client, do I have a sub package for this? Or no, I guess I do it here, huh? Or do I pass the window in? Yeah, I pass the window in here. Oh, full screen is false. Oh, it's got to come from the settings, I think. Actually, no. I'm surprised that this, because it's 1920 by 1080, it just goes to full screen. Whatever. I have artifacting glitch on GPU in full screen mode. It's not in LTS kernel. Normal kernel glitches out, but it works. This is just regular, or this is while you streaming? Because mine doesn't glitch on my screen, it just glitches through the stream. So I assume it's some streaming package. Or whatever OBS uses to like read from the screen or something like that. Yeah, mine looks fine. Like to me, it doesn't glitch at all. It's only through the stream it glitches. Yeah, it could be related. But this is not a rabbit hole I'm gonna go down on while I'm streaming. So, all right, I guess let's add these one by one. The only downside is if I do have to fix something in this build, I'll just stash my changes. It won't be that big of a problem, I don't think. Whatever. All right, we need to do a little bit of drawing though. So we need a crab. I'm super tempted to just do something like this, but obviously I'm not gonna do this, like a mini crab. I wanna do like I might use this shape. Let's see also what's in this food group. I can also use this shape. Rust crab. Let's see here. I'll use this shape down here. I think this looks fine. Either this shape or this shape. Might use this one. What does crab meat look like? It's like... Hold on. Cooked snail. I don't really have any snail monsters. A car without wheels. Is that what this looks like to you? I want to make like a paler red, I think. This really isn't that bad, honestly. I feel like crab is more orange, though. It looks like a sausage. It's like crab meat. Have you ever seen crab meat before? I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. I'm in the wrong one. I guess I can just do that. Oh, nice. All right. Isn't crab meat white? No, it's orange. Let me bring up a picture. Or I guess the outside is orange, the inside is white. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I guess maybe it's white uncooked and then it turns orange when you cook it. Yeah, that's why I was trying to do like white streaks inside of it, but I'm not really sure how to like capture that very well. Boom, 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 boom. I'll try and do like a pale red, but here's what we'll do. And then we'll do orange. I don't know. Is it faster to model in Blender than render it and scale it down? Looks like a hot dog. feel like this one just looks better. I'm just gonna go with this for now. All right, that'll be the crab meat art. I guess I'll just go through and do all the art right now. While I'm in here. We'll just take one of these bottles. This one is perfect. We're gonna go red though. Label. I'll do this one. That's not one of my colors, so we'll do that. I guess black is probably fine for the top. That's decent. All right. What is next? We'll have to do venison. I should look for like some kind of steak sort of thing. Is it venison or veal? Venison is deer, I'm pretty sure. What's veal? Oh, it's from cows. Young cows. One of these. I might take this one and just reshape it. Let's fix the colors first. I think I want to go darker though. Like that, yeah, okay. Let me do this. I'm gonna reshape, or I'm gonna rechange the color first. All right, now we're in our palette. Dun, 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 dun. I guess I don't really need to reshape it if I'm gonna do, because I don't think I have that many types of meats, do I? I just kind of wanted it to be a little bit smaller. Oops. That could work. All right, we need to do whey bread next. I'll put this in this package. All or in that tag, just in case I want to switch it in the future. Gosh, bless me. Whey bread, I want to take like exactly what lembas bread looks like. Let me look that up. I was thinking something more triangular looking. But it looks like it's a square with little triangles in it. Kind of like cut like a pizza in quarters. I doubt I have a... I mean, we should look though. What do I have for bread? Bread. Jelly toast. All right. Oops. I might round it more. Let's try this. There's a loaf of bread. It's nice when they do like a side profile. I think I should make it tilted down more. All right. Yeah, I think that this is the right corner. That's probably too dark, but also I want to round this last, I think, the bottom section. Or we'll do this. That's pretty good. I always have the urge to write whey bread with an E for some reason. All right, scorpion meat. Maybe I do have a lot of meats, holy. Maybe I should be planning what recipes people can make with these rather than just adding them all first. The problem is I want to have like there's a balance you have to strike with like how generic things are. So it's hard to make something that drops from like one monster. But also it's got to be something that like composes in recipes. So like whey bread is very specific, but it's like a bread base. So like maybe it's used for all bread recipes, if that makes sense. But it just has implications. It just means that like to get to bread, you have to go through the elven biome. So then all of the bread based recipes are locked behind that section. Hmm. I guess originally my idea was that I would just drop random meats based off of the monster type, and then that doesn't really fit into potion making, does it? This is all very food based. I also have the ability to drop like basic foods too. Like I don't necessarily need to have super specific stuff. But that was kind of my original plan. Like I could just drop generic food items all throughout the game as well. One thing I don't want though is like everything has to have a use. So I don't want to like go and add a bunch of stuff, but then not have recipes for them. But I think it'll be, I don't know. I don't know how hard it's going to be to really come up with recipes for things. Because you can always make like pies or stews or sandwiches or whatever, you know? So maybe I'm over worrying. I am just worried that I feel like there's implications to different item types of like what their status should be, or like what they should give, or how much they should heal. But I guess at the very least, I have to have some items drop from these monsters, so I can always change what it actually is in the future. So I don't know. But maybe let's do a first pass with these 4. This takes us up to all the tier 1s, I think. So let's do that and just see how the drop tables play out, and then we'll continue on, because I don't want to go through and add every single thing, like draw all the art, just to realize that like my approach is bad. So let's do these 4 items first, and then we'll move on. Okay. All right, well, so we'll do food. I'm gonna use the food prefix from now on, or for foods I am. Consumables more of like anything that can be consumed. So we'll do food, crab meat. Is that not a item value? Worthless. Oh, consumable value T0. Okay. The other thing I have to decide is, do I want to make cooked and uncooked versions of everything? It makes it more of an ingredient, I guess. And less of an immediate consumable. But I think in a game like mine, where you kind of play, you want to be able to find food and have it heal you immediately. So I'm trying to think of how much 5 healing is, practically speaking. It's really not that much. Health potions, these are 20 right now. This is considered a tier 0 item. So I think we'll stick with 10. I'm gonna make, I'll make this 10. I think this used to be higher. I don't remember what it used to be actually. Okay. So we'll do crab meat. I also need to do jelly. I'm surprised I don't have that in this list. Oh, because I put it in the not edible category. Boom, boom, boom. Oops, I wrote Spice Run again. So we'll do heal amount 5 and mana amount 15 for the spiced rum. That seems interesting. Let's do jellyfish jelly. Well, we already have jelly, I guess. The problem is I have like so many resources. I'm not really sure how to categorize them. Like right now, I just put them all in a resource folder. Like jelly is all in there. Or resource. But I think I would prefer, but the problem is you have like fiber could maybe be used for multiple things, you know? Or jelly could be used for, it's not like a food ingredient only. What's up, Jen? How's it going, buddy? Who drops this? Or this is just generally dropped, I think. And then it drops from Moonlit Shoals. Where's the green one come from? Oops. Green, blue, and then this one's a boss drop. So what I need to do, I think, for the jellies is I need to make orange jelly, the jellyfish jelly. Sorry, let me just read through these and see what we've got. Bars, tiers, shards. These are like other ingredients, kind of. I think I'm gonna make another file because resources is just gigantic. I think I'm gonna split this, and I think logically I'm gonna split it by saying some things are materials and some things are ingredients. And like driftwood is an ingredient, stone is it, or sorry, is a material, ingredient. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so let's move these over then. Need to move calm over. Boom, boom. Driftwood, stone, fiber. I think I'm gonna treat as a material. It's not like a loose distinction. I just kind of want to keep things a little bit more split up. Wood, rocks, chlorolite, moonstone. I'll say as a material. Tiers. I think that's more of an ingredient, honestly. This is in tier 2. We have potion base as well, which I need to get rid of. Or I guess I don't really need to get rid of it, but these are all tier 2 items, right? Yeah. Shard, Windleaf, Beetle Leaf, Berserker's Bane, Swiftwing. This is one that's tricky though, because like antlers and Minotaur horn, those are more materials, I feel like. They're not really ingredients. But I think they can be used as ingredients. Slime heart I'm gonna keep as a material. I'm also gonna make a separate folder for crystals, I think. Or is that what consumables is now? It's just the crystals. Or hold on. I want to take a I want the grouping. This is in the tier 3 category, I guess. I just have so many items, it's hard to keep them straight. Moonstone, shards, horns, hearts, gold, hearts, cobalt, obsidian, ectoplasm, which I think I'll treat as a material, more of a material than ingredient, but it might be used for some. I think it's just more about if it's primarily used for crafting or cooking or potion making. It's either that or I organize them by like biome or something like that. What's up, Nitrix? How you doing, buddy? Let's move these compressed speed down to compressed strength. This is in tier 5, I think. Yeah. Thornwood. Okay. Import log chat cute. You forgot it's at github.com. All right, let's finish this one then. T1, Elfwood Forest is... Gosh, it's so bad that I don't know if it's tier 1 or tier 2. Tier 1, no, it's tier 2, isn't it? Okay. Venison is also tier 2. So we kind of skipped we kind of missed tier 1 here a bit. Oh, because it's slimes and stuff like that. Which Go library are you using to develop the game? I wrote my own libraries. So I wrote my own ECS library. I wrote my own rendering library. So I just use like OpenGL. And then WebGL for the web version of the game. Rockberry. This would be in Stoneheart Forest. This is going to be in Moonlit Shoals. This is in Gumbo Forest. This is in Gumbo Forest. This is in Forgotten Grove, I think. So we have to do these 4 as well. And these are the tier 2s, I guess, technically. So we'll leave those. We'll go to tier 1 next, even though I already drew those ones. So let's so we have food. I think I might make a separate. I guess there's nothing to rename. Should I just do that ingredient? Instead, like food is stuff that can be consumed. Ingredients are resources. Is there a shorter term for ingredient? It's been a while since I've been to Merriam-Webster.com. Thesaurus ingredient. It's not really giving me some good suggestions though. I feel like ChatGPT does a way better job with with thesaurusizing. Let's see. We'll call it ingredient for now because that's what I called the file. So yeah, we'll just do that. The tricky part though is I already have a jelly, so I can't really use this. I can't really make a new one. So really orange jelly needs to become... Sorry, I just need to make sure this is the right one because I have 4 different colors of jelly. This one drops from the boss of Luminous Cavern. This one drops from... This one's just a generic drop, I think. But it's also... Oh, I have Jelly Table, which drops from all of the... Oh, Goopy Grove. Okay. Uses that. All right. But I'm pretty sure orange is the basic one, right? Moonlit Shoals. Oh, this one drops any of them. This is the area boss. This is what I should be looking at is the recipes. So it goes coconut milk to health potion is just an orange jelly. Consumable health potion 2 is orange jelly plus green jelly. Let me write this down. Hold on. Ingredient. Then it's jelly green. Then it's jelly blue. I think jelly blue is for like mana, making mana potions. Okay. I'll do this. T0 healing. Or it's tier 1 healing, I guess. It's a Vegas Eagle. How you doing, buddy? Hey now. Nothing wrong with being a nerd. What's up, Pairbender? How's it going, buddy? Welcome. I fixed the cannon problem, but I'll deploy it after I finish streaming today. I have the build all set up. That, and I fixed one other bug for that I mentioned in the Discord. All right, T1 mana. So blue is kind of a separate thing, and then you can do a mana potion 2 with green. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. And then I think I made a restore potion which combines them, right? Oh, white jelly for that. Okay. Can it feel so much better now? But it's still a little slow on the bigger T5 bosses. Yeah, I think maybe the range will help make it feel a little bit stronger. But when you say slow, what do you mean? Like DPS is too low, or the bullets move too slow, or the problem is I can't make it like I was selling Alvarn with people standing outside. Everyone's watching you perform. HGG was complaining that I was taking forever. Gosh. So you think the DPS is low? Or you're saying that the bullets move slow, which causes you to miss too often? The other thing is it's not supposed, like, I can't make it good at everything. You know what I mean? DPS is a little low. Yeah, I had it a little higher, tuned a little higher, and then I decided to lower it because it felt like I might be making it too strong. Okay. Let's also document while we're here. Let's document the potion crafting as well. So we've got potions. This is the food side. We have potion base, which I need to get rid of. So it's coconut plus a tier, and then it's always potion base plus something. Elder tree. I'm just gonna document like because I kind of know what these are gonna be. Rock shard. This one's Berserker's Bane. Or I'm just gonna remove the base because these are all potion bases. Let's see, beetle, leaf, wind leaf, haste. Oh, swiftwing. So I think the potions will more or less stay the same. I probably am gonna change this. I maybe could. I don't know. It feels weird to force people to make a base just to craft a potion, but it does open the door to let me like like you can like batch process stuff a little bit better rather than having to like bring 3 things with you to build a bunch of potions. It's like you build a bunch of potion bases and then you can build a bunch of final potions with them. So I don't know. I'm a little bit torn. Try the extra range when it's released and give feedback after. All right, yeah. I work often in the math. I lose somewhere between in the realm of 40-55% of my potential DPS with slag, which is fine. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty, well, so when it's short range like it is right now, it's pretty weak, but with the extra range, which is pretty far, it's maybe a little bit better. But also the further away you are, the more like error there is in how the bullet spread gets wider. Like the further you shoot, the more variance there is where your explosions are going to be. So it's like a little bit of a trade-off there. So I could maybe still boost the damage a bit. I don't know. It's a balance in progress. Okay, I think this captures all of the recipes that we currently have. Okay, so then all we need to do is, I think these potions will mostly stay the same. The recipes might change, but the actual potions will probably stay the same. I'll probably boost the duration the potions last for, and I might make the ingredients a little bit different or make them drop in different spots. But yeah, so for the food side, we need to do this. So orange needs to become purple. It'll just be called jelly, because it's like jellyfish jelly, which is purple, in my opinion. The most balanced change you could add would be to boost the base damage by like 2. Increasing the scaling would up the DPS way too much from a balance perspective. Yeah. Well, it's like I have a lot of knobs I can twist. Like I can up the DPS from each projectile or the explosion. So you did the math. +2 would be perfect. It is kind of a hard weapon to get, isn't it? You need Ignorox X Essence, I think, for it. Slag. Yeah. It's a massive jump from pirate cannon to tier 5 cannon, which is kind of funny in the crafting. Well, I'll give you +1 damage for the next patch. Not 2, just 1. But it's for every projectile that spawns in the explosion. It's really hard to balance test because things are so build specific, you know? Like I can't just make a basic account, give him a slag cannon and see what his DPS is, because it's like I got to make an optimized build for like what is the best cannon build meta, and then so it's really hard to do that for every single possible thing, you know? So balance is going to be a struggle, I think. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. You try it out? All right, orange jelly is going to become a jelly, and then just be the Veil Keeper. Oh, nice. That's like the tutorial, like the what's it called? Intro sequence, I guess. Yeah, that's like the tutorial pretty much. And then it drops you into, you should get like a quest in town now. Like the very first quest is in town. Let me know if you get stuck on anything in the opening sequence, or if anything like doesn't make sense, you know? Because I think the early game is a super important part for like retention. And if there's any like parts where it's like, where it's like confusing on what to do, or you're like, I don't know what to do now, like I'm kind of stuck or something like that. That's the sort of stuff that I want to be fixing. The front end's written in Go. The whole game's written in Go. So the front end compiles to WebAssembly, and then I use WebGL for the rendering. Yeah. Is there a video of you explaining the overall structure and design architecture of the game? I'll start making a game in Go as well, but I have no idea to start. Yeah, I mean, if you want to make a game in Go, your best bet is probably to use Ebitingen or Raylib. If you want to make a web game, Raylib's maybe not the best place to start because it can't compile to web. But there is this other package that I've never tested, which maybe does that. So Ebitengen's probably the way to go. But yeah, I have a ton of videos on my channel explaining a lot of different stuff. The thing is, though, that like every game should only be as complicated as it needs to be. So if you're just starting, then you may as well just make like a really small game just to learn the ins and outs of how whatever library or framework you're going to use works. So make a simple game to learn how your framework works, and then you can start making more advanced games based off of that. Is Koa's sword a 1 per account kind of weapon? Yeah. Not like intentionally. It's just like it's a quest reward item, so it's yeah. You can only get 1. Which I could obviously change. I could make it so like, oh, you lost it? Oh, here's a new one. Are there like libs for front end dev and Go? When you say front end, do you mean like web front end stuff, or you mean like making games? I mean, there's like rendering libraries. You have OpenGL, GLFW, which is what I use for mine. And then I wrote my own like wrapper layer on top of that. But then there's also like people trying to make like proper game frameworks out there. Like the most common one is called Ebitingen. So the most common one is Ebitingen. That's like the biggest one with the most cross-platform support, I'd say. So that's the one I recommend to people if they're trying to make a game. I never use WebAssembly, so I'm trying to comprehend. Yeah, it's just like an assembly layer for GLFW is for desktop apps. Yeah, exactly. WebAssembly is when it runs in the browser. Like you're probably playing the browser version of Mythfall right now, and that uses HTML5 Canvas and WebGL. Yeah, so you're using like the WebGL version of it, which is super similar to OpenGL. Like it's like a dialect of OpenGL, like OpenGL ES3 or something like that is what WebGL is closest to. Did you write the WebGL stuff? I don't understand the WebAssembly part. Yeah, the WebAssembly is like a replacement for JavaScript. So instead of like transpiling to JavaScript to make your game run, you can just compile to WebAssembly. And it's like an assembly layer that runs in the browser. It's like running in like a sandbox environment, but it's assembly layer. It's not like a scripting layer, if that makes sense. But it's like the closest equivalent to JavaScript, but yeah, I wrote the WebGL stuff. Or some other guy had the old library where he made like a cross-platform version of OpenGL that used WebGL, and I forked it and then like added my own stuff depending on what I needed. But like I used his library as a starting point. You think Ebitingen is good for a game? For a game that's a mix of Dwarf Fortress, Song of Sex, with RPG access to it? I basically want to make a simulation game where you can macro manage a village. Yeah, I think it's fine. As long as it's 2D. Ebitengen's a 2D game framework, so you're kind of locked into that. If you want to do a 3D one, I don't really know of any libraries that do that really well. I'm sure there's some out there, but they're not as top-notch as Ebitingen is. So JavaScript has fetch, right, to make a request to the server. How does that work with Go WebAssembly? Yeah, so in WebAssembly, you can make calls to the JavaScript layer. So like in Go, there's a syscall package, which lets you make like arbitrary JavaScript calls. I don't know how familiar you are with Go. But there is this package, which is like your syscall library for doing JavaScript stuff. So I can just like read values and where's like call? Yeah, so you like call methods, or you can read objects from JavaScript. So all you really have to do is you have to like find whatever you're looking for in the JavaScript, quote unquote JavaScript world, and you have to make like whatever method call you're calling on that object. And then there's a shim layer that Go provides that lets you do those calls. So that's how it works in Golang. Yeah, but it's like a syscall. It's like a regular syscall basically. So I do that for literally everything. Like if I need to read input, or if I need to render the frame, or if I need to send triangles over, all that stuff goes through there. Yeah. Yeah, it's a decent language. I think it misses the mark a little bit on game development personally, but I like the minimalism of it. Okay, blue is going to become slime, I think. Or who drops blue? Oh no, there's also green. I read the Go programming language book a long time ago. Well, half of it, yeah. Started with good intentions. I've done that a few times. Started a book and then like, all right, I kind of get it. Go's a simple language though, so it's pretty easy to just jump into it. All right, who drops this? Generic drop, jelly drop. That's from Scumbo Forest, I think. Oh, and then it drops from that. Okay. So this is the one to turn into slime. Blue. It's going before it's normal. So blue is kind of missing a spot, I think. I think for MMO server, it seems ideal. I'd choose it too. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. It's really good at concurrency. So if you need to do any kind of like parallel computing, it's a good language for stuff like that. And the garbage collector makes that sort of stuff like super easy to write, which is super helpful. But then you also have the dark side of the garbage collector where it kind of gets in the way a lot. Yeah, concurrency stuff, it works super well. This turns into the slime item. This one I'm not sure what to do yet. Oh yeah, I wouldn't use a dynamic language anymore. I'm way too static, I don't know, static pilled. Have you got the green TGC at all? I have not yet. I mean, I think I've compiled my game with the experimental mode just to like see if it ran, and it ran fine, and I stopped at that point pretty much. I heard it's good though. I heard like 10 to 40%. I have no idea what I'll get out of it though. Blue jelly. I don't really know what to do with you. Okay, we have these two. I could just make a blue and a purple jelly, I guess. That dropped from Moonlit Shoals, at least for now. We'll just do that, I guess. I don't really know. I'm doing a machine learning project, so basically compelled to use Python because of the PyTorch. Yeah. But I think Java and Kotlin are too heavy-handed, boilerplatey. Not sure if you use those. Yeah, I've used those for work in the past, but yeah, I don't really like JavaScript or Java that much. I think Java was a good innovation at the time it was created, but nowadays I think it's just like super dated in terms of like how they have you solve problems. But I think at the time when like C was the alternative or C++ was the alternative, I don't know which one. It was like, okay, I could see a spot for Java. But nowadays it's like, I just feel like there's so many other way better languages than Java. I'll be right back. I'm gonna make some oatmeal real quick. All right, we're back. Okay, I think this is what we'll do. Orange will become jelly. Blue is gonna stay blue jelly. White will stay blue jelly or white jelly, and then green is gonna turn into slime. So then we'll shift all the drops based off of that. I think that kind of mirrors like what I'm going for. So, like I said, I've never used Go for work, so I don't know what frameworks there are for organizing code. I've read Let's Go by Alex Edwards. He does everything by picking and choosing different libraries. It seems a bit of a pitfall of Go if you're trying to organize a large team around doing things. He does everything by picking and choosing different libs. Seems like a bit of a pitfall of Go if you're trying to organize a large team around doing things a particular way. Yeah, I mean, there's like the Go way of doing stuff. But like large teams are always an organizational problem, I feel like. Like you just end up with this problem where like some people don't understand other parts of the code base. But yeah, I mean, Go has its own version of like sticking points and problems and stuff like that for sure. Like some things are just hard to express in Go. Like some sort of like some types are really hard to express in Go. So if you want to have some pattern that uses that, you're kind of like hacking your way around it. And then the next person that comes through is like, wait, why are you doing this? So I would say Go is mostly suited for like web services. Like that's like the sort of problem they were shooting to solve. And then every other problem is kind of secondary. Like games are very secondary, I think, to the Go compiler team or the Go like language team. But like little services that run on your computer, that's like what they're going for. I would even say that databases weren't even what they were shooting for either. But I know people write databases in Go. Yeah, I just think that C is way more versatile in terms of like what it can do. Yeah. I just think for anything that's too high performance, the memory pressure is too much in Go because of the garbage collector. Was a modern standard library. That is one thing that Go did really, really well, was having a good standard library. I don't know if I'd say they innovated that, because I didn't really, I don't know, did they? Or were there other languages that were doing, yeah, Go is cross-platform. Does it say food lava? Are we eating lava? It's gonna be an ingredient, probably. I'm probably gonna have in the lava biome, they're gonna drop, lava monsters will drop like a cup of lava or something like that, or a lava like orb, I don't know. For C example, the networking is not totally cross-platform, it's vaguely because Windows and Linux are. Oh yeah. Well, I think what you do in C is you, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be, but I think what you do is you like use some guy's library, some guy's like header only library to do all of your networking for you. Yeah, C, you have to deal with the compatibility problems yourself. Or you have to use a library that does it for you. So Go, they just like do it for you, if that makes sense. Did I make a new art for ingredients? Item ingredients? I'm gonna delete everything else. I can delete that back if I want. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's some compositing bug when I stream where it can't like figure out how to draw it. So I have to go to not full screen mode. Oops. Resource jelly. I need to remind myself. I need to go back and search for these triple question marks so I can fix the item descriptions. Do you use TCP for networking? I've heard UDP is using games a lot, depending on how much lag you want to tolerate or something. And UDP is tricky because it's message based and not sequenced. Yeah, I use because my game has to run in a browser, I have to use browser standard like features. So I use WebSockets as a fallback, and then I use WebRTC, which is a real time, or it's a little bit more real time for the primary like networking protocol. But some networks don't support it, so it falls back to WebSockets. And then WebRTC lets you run stuff on UDP basically. It's kind of a hack, but it does work. And it fixes the lag spikes a little bit. It like makes the lag spikes a little bit lower. But yeah, you are correct. Most games will use UDP. All right, we'll keep blue jelly like the same. Green jelly needs to become slime. I don't know those. Are they a little bit like convenience on top of UDP? Yeah, WebRTC is like what people use for peer-to-peer, what's it called? WebRTC is what people use for peer-to-peer video calls. Yeah, so people doing video calls almost always use WebRTC. So it's a peer-to-peer protocol technically, but it uses UDP because it's trying to reduce, yeah, for like Google Meet and things like that, like Skype on your browser or whatever. Because they try to target low latency for video calls, they built it on top of UDP as the primary, but it can also fall back to TCP sometimes. And there's different reliability modes you can run on top of WebRTC. So you can get like pretty much the reliability of TCP, but with a little bit lower latency. And that's kind of what I do. Even my desktop game uses WebRTC, surprisingly. But there is a newer standard that uses, it's called Web Transport that uses, that lets you do UDP tunnels through browser. Yeah, I use a stream protocol. My WebRTC library is open source if you want to read it. Or my art, it's not tech. I mean, it's a little wrapper on top of another one, but it is here. If you're curious how it all works. Okay, I need like a goopy slime. Bum, bum, banana. Maybe something like this. Oh, wrong one. Trying to make a game a pie game. I had it networking, and that was a nightmare. It is kind of a pain to get started on networking stuff. It's just very complicated, and like any little mistake ends up being a really big problem. I think I rewrote my networking layer like 3 times, and I rewrote my serialization layer like 10 times. When I said with people had problems, other didn't. It's hard to debug. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Go's a good language for a backend like that. I think this is a pretty good slime spread, actually. Ingredient slime. This should be tier 1, I think, though. DB item tier is just a constant. It's just like a tier. It's just like an enumeration sort of constant. I'm gonna make this tier 0 because it does drop from a tier 0 dungeon. I'll make it a rare though, because it is a boss drop. So. Okay. All right, we have jelly. Blue. Blue jelly is a little bit of a... The problem is that I might use orange jelly to make some colored thing. I don't know. We'll fix it, though. The crafting stuff's gonna have to get reworked a lot, so. Blue jelly we did, green turned into slime, white stays the same. I think we're good. So this is like the seed, the database code. This is like my, instead of using YAML, I just configured it all in Golang. Because it lets me write little functions like register item and stuff like that, that do specific stuff. But this is like the equivalent of like a bunch of YAML configs. I just don't really like YAML or TOML or anything like that. I like being able to like find reference and then find everything that uses this reference. You can't really do that with config files. Like, for example, I can just hard code things to their tier rather than having like the number 0 in there, you know? DB is doing something. No, it's just the package name. Technically, it's treated like a static database that's embedded inside the game. So I like register things with specific keys, and then I look them up with those same keys later on. So every item has a config item attached to it. So I just build a big file, big binary file, and then I embed that in the game. The database stuff is only on the server code. Okay. Right, we can do honey, we can do rockberry, and that'll get us to tier 1. These will be ingredients though, so. Yeah, these need to be added here. Let's do art for those. I wonder if there's anything that looks like a honey jar. I guess I could do this. Honeycomb. That's not a food, it's a, or should it be a food? Honey? Or an ingredient? I really don't like the how large some of these items are. Maybe lose a little bit too much texture doing it that way. What if I just do this? Kind of boxes and then comes back. Oops. That's maybe good. Once the edges of the floors look like walls, so I didn't realize I could dash across the first gap until it said I should try. Choose the Veil guy. It took me a bit to figure out you gotta attack his feet to do damage. Oh yeah. All the colliders are on the feet for floating monsters. But yeah, okay. That's good notes. I'll try to improve that stuff. At the very least, I can expand their collider upwards a little bit if they float. Those will be honey resource. I'll make it an uncommon, I guess. It is Gumbo Forest, so it's really hard to list where things come from, because if they come from multiple places, it's just hard to capture that. Oh, we have these. Oh, Rockberry I need to do. Not Gumbo Forest, this is going to be Stone Lake Forest. I really wanted something not like a blackberry though. I wanted something like a bunches of berries. I don't know, not like this though. This could work maybe. I want to make these gray though. I'll start with this one as my brightest. Okay. Oops. All right, the new ingredients should be in there. One thing I don't like though is that part of the experience I want to be, especially in earlier biomes, I want more things to drop that are like foods. Because I want newer players to be able to just like run around and play, not having to like, oh, I ran out of food. So one thing I don't like is that I'm making a lot of resources that are not edible. So I might migrate these to be, well, the other thing is jelly as well. Either that or I drop some like generic things. The king is mad at you. What'd you do to him? What'd you do to him and why'd you do it? I didn't swear fealty. Yeah, I mean, how the dialogue works is it goes to the same ending regardless of what you say. I was trying to make it funny, like he just ignores whatever you say, but I think people think it's like bugged. No, I've heard similar feedback like that. I might make these edible. I might make these 3 edible. Oh, green jelly is the wrong name. There should be a marker on your mini map that tells you where to go. Oops. I didn't pick it up in time. Oh, honey. Man, where is this thing? Oh, jelly is just further up. Okay. Blue jelly. Where's the white jelly? Oh, eggs are also considered resources. That's kind of funny. Blue jelly. This is the old orange jelly. This is the old green jelly. Rock berries, honey. I think there was one more. Okay. But the workbench by house, the guy keeps telling, saying to put it in your house. You can like place the block down. And then he should, after that, he should give you wood and then say you can craft a sword. Unless your inventory is full for some reason, then maybe he can't give it to you. Yeah, I think I want to make these all edible. Did he give you wood? Huh. Let me see. Workbench disappeared. I wonder if it's because you're a guest. No, it should still work. It could just be it might be a bug with like placing it. Oh, sorry. I have a bug in my compositor right now. So when I stream, it flickers and I don't notice it. Are you equipping it? For me, it was a short-looking thing. Well, the first time I placed it, it didn't seem to work. Oh, you dragged it into the house. Oh, that drops it on the ground. You have to equip it and then click. Yeah, it's gotta be, you gotta equip it and then, that is a little bit confusing though. But you drop, how you drop stuff is doing this. It's gone now, I don't know where it is. Uh-oh. Do I give you workbenches for free? Hold on. I probably don't though. No, it costs 10 gold. Dang, you broke the quest. If you talk to him again, does he give you a new workbench? Okay, yeah, you're stuck then, sorry. But are you playing on a guest account? All your progress is gonna get lost anyways. What you could do is you can, I mean, I don't know how much you want to get through the game, but yeah, I should probably fix that though. Did I destroy the bench? It just dropped into a loot bag and then the loot bag disappeared. So yeah, it got destroyed. Need to I could introduce crafting as a later on part. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you can just recall in the tutorial dungeon. You can just recall immediately. I want jelly to be edible. I might make these ingredients and not foods and just do generic foods actually. Slime. What is this for? Oh, red carpets are going to be made with purple jelly now. I guess I can just add a note to fix that. I need to make a, yeah. So we'll need to do red carpet. So I'll need to fix that. All right. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, we can have the crab meat now. Or no, it's food. Could I be dropping coconut milk from crabs? That seems silly. I'll not do that. So let's make another pirate loot table. I guess we'll do Millet Shoal since we're already there. I just warped into a desert? Oh, did you go in the sphere? That's the beach. I hope. I hope that's the beach. It should just be a bunch of crabs. That's like the first biome. You died? Poor guy. Already? Yeah, it's a bit of a hard game. I'm gonna change it so that the earlier biomes have are a little bit less punishing, because the game's supposed to be a permadeath game where you die, you lose all your stuff. But I'm gonna make the earlier biomes like graduate into permadeath. So the first biome will be like you die, you lose nothing, and then in a little slightly later biomes, like maybe tier 1 biomes, if you die, you lose your loot, but you don't lose your items or your character. And then after that, it'll probably just be full permadeath. I might make wood not drop here. I don't know. This needs jelly. It also needs blue jelly. We'll make it 3-1. Oh, this is running. How long have you been working on the game? How much gameplay is there? I mean, there's a lot of gameplay. There's probably 20 dungeons and 3 times 5 biomes, 15 biomes. No, there's probably 15 or 16 dungeons and then 15 biomes. And there's 2 quests and like 500 plus items right now. But I've been working on it for like 4 years. So it's been quite a project, but it's fun. I'm kind of in like the content phase right now, so I'm trying to like refine everything and fix a few more systems and then just add a bunch more content. Yeah, okay, I wrote that down already. All right. I don't think I used this. All right, good. All right, we need to make a pirate loot table, which is going to replace Scurvy Strand normal. This needs to be I think this is all it'll be though. I'm trying to think, or fiber, yeah. I mean, those like the standard things. That's a long time. Did you make a bunch of games before you found something you wanted to work on for a long time? Yeah, I mean, I've made games in the past, mostly with like Unity or things like that, like game engines. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. This was like what I wanted to work on, so this is what I decided to work on. I know the recommendation is always like make and publish a bunch of small games first, but I didn't want to do that, so here I am. Here I am 4 years in, but I'm trying to launch in August, so we're kind of rounding towards the end of the development cycle of it. So I'm gonna try to do the what's it called? The Next Fest in July, and then do the launch in August. So fingers crossed. At least that's my current plan. But I think I'm more willing to take a little bit extra time to refine things rather than launch a game that's like buggy, if that makes sense. The nice thing is I can always, like, I can do spiced ramen. I can also just throw in a bunch of other like generic food. Thank you. This should fail because I think we need to, yeah. Oh, I need to do this. I would rather compose this from another one, I think. Like, do I have a pirate I can just copy this from? Oh, it's a set piece, that's why. That's fine, I guess. Oh, it's .get, dang it. I forgot I did it this way. There's one more in this one has the wrong, yeah. I mean, small stuff, but it's all been arcadey stuff. That's only a minute worth of content. I wonder if I had the psychological barrier against taking. If you have a psychological barrier against taking on an ambitious project. I mean, it's build whatever you want to build. I feel like people try to make too many rules about like, oh, you should do this way because, like that's the right way. I don't think there is like a right way. It's just like, what do you prefer doing? Other than that, it's like trade-offs. You know, it's like, am I going to enjoy doing this more this way, or am I going to enjoy doing it more this way, or am I going to save time doing it this way? So you want to balance like how much time you're willing to save and how much joy you want to have in your life. Bum 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 bum. Boom 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 boom. Okay, I think that's all the drop tables for that. For the low areas. I do want to. I do think I want to make like simple foods though, like tier 0 foods, just generic stuff like apples and oranges and whatever. And then use those as ingredients in the future. Because I think it just fills out drop tables a little bit better. Otherwise, it's like pirates sometimes drop spiced rum. Okay, did I miss any foods? Oh yeah, we need to do these ones next. Rockberry, honey, and then we need to do gumbo forest, which is the slime. We have the bees as well. What's the other tier 1? Fungal grove. I need something for that. I'll also come up with a mushroom. Do I have gumbo forest elite? I do. Gumbo forest health. Gumbo forest normal. Wait, the gumbo forest special is just slime? I don't have any kind of... That's gotta be wrong, right? I'm such a noob, the beach kills me. Are you just having trouble dodging or? What are you having trouble with in the beach? I like fight one guy and dodge his stuff, and then another mob attacks you from behind. I can see it kind of, yeah, it's a bullet hell game, so it is very dodging based. It is hard to balance for all skill levels though, but I do my best. The early game is maybe a little on the harder side for what I could do, but where's my list of, oh, finalize. Bum, bum, bum. Who do I need to add stuff here? And then in the resource one, I'll probably do I mean, we can do slime, I guess, for this for now. Boom, 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 boom. We have the slimes, and then we have bees. That's it. Okay. All right, we'll have slime loot. Loot tier 1 equipment. This is a tier 1 biome. The food is the slime. Literally every bullet hell I've played, you're at a spaceship. Yeah, like Galaga. I actually never really played bullet hells that much. All right, Gumbo Forest resources. That's good. Then we've got this as the resource drop. Tier 1 and then Gumbo Special. Okay. This will replace this one. Do I want to drop blue? Blue jelly? I don't know. This is loot.slime.loot.get. Monster type B. Does he not have his own loot? Oh, this is just a regular B. Okay. So who? You're a magical girl, but then you still move around like a typical spaceship-like field. Yeah. I think I've heard of that one. This is just the same. For bees, don't want to drop honey. I might make that the special loot, actually. And then this just goes away. Perfect. Where do you get iron bars from? Yeah, so You can build forges in your house, and you can smelt iron ore that you get from tier 1 biomes into iron bars. What's up, Roger? Thank you for the sub, buddy. Appreciate it. This is like too much crab meat, I think. But yeah, why is there so much? Why did I get so many crab meat drops? But I'm not getting any pirate drops. I think I'm supposed to get iron bars as my next quest. What you described seems kind of far off. Yeah, no, the next quest is the Blacksmith's Apprentice quest. And that one you do have to get iron bars for. Yeah, wow, I got, like, I'm just getting so much meat. You just have to keep in mind that, like, the game's not fully put together yet. So, like, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of there, but not balanced, and there's a lot of gaps between sections. Yeah, I feel like this drop rate's just too high. I feel like I'm gonna have it. Oops. I'm gonna do 20 actually. Because what I think is gonna happen is I'm gonna make some common food drops as well. And then these will be like a little bit of on the rarer side of, I think that works. Okay. You got a wrench, nice. I think it's a tier 2 club. One thing I don't love though, I just feel like there's so many item drops. There's so many item drops that feels a little bit overwhelming. Hmm. But I guess I think of these tier 0 foods as kind of like disposable stuff. And I'll probably make the backpack system a little bit sooner. Like make the earlier backpacks drop earlier on. And a little bit less rare. Let's go run around as a new player and just see what it feels like. With 20. And I just have to keep in mind that like there'll be more than just crab meat in every single drop table. Or let's do I have anybody that's not maxed out? Let's just go die. I don't know why I always go left though. It's a lot of wood. We have so much jelly. I've already gotten 3 jellies. I mean, my inventory is really not that full, considering. Surprisingly, I haven't gotten like any crab meat. Bum, 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 bum. I almost wonder if the housing system should be introduced slightly later on. Boom, boom. Ooh, fungal dagger. So like, let's say I loot right, or like, let's say I recall here. As a new player, what would I do? What would I want to do? Like my original idea was that I'd introduce the housing system super early on and then people would get their loot. Oh, sorry. There's a bug where if I full screen something, it flashes really bad right now. I think the question is like, would a new player want to go craft something with their jelly? They'd have to like build a cooking station first though. So that's where I feel like there's a disconnect in the flow of how people play. I almost feel like everything early on should just be 100% edible. Like jellies should be edible. What is the apothecary? It's just a shop now, I think, right? Also, it's funny these look like hammers to me. I think they're supposed to be signs though. Yeah, this is just a shop now, which is fine. Defeated the monarch jelly, nice. Oh, I thought they were hammers, yeah. Well, actually, maybe they were originally supposed to be hammers because these used to be this used to be how you crafted. Remember, you crafted through here. Now they're shops though. Okay, so yeah, I think they were originally okay. My art's not that bad, I guess. I just don't know for game flow though. Like, let's say you run through the tier 0 biomes, you get like this sort of loot. $sign symbol, yeah. I could definitely do a $sign symbol. The problem is if I make them food, I probably can't really make them stackable. I mean, like, but I guess all things considered, I could just have something that's a recipe to make a cooking station with just wood and rocks or something. Though I didn't get any rocks. I could definitely drop up the rock drop table. Because I think it's going to be like wooden rocks, then you craft your cooking station, and then you have resources to cook things with. Does that make sense? Does that work? Say it again? Yeah. So the problem I have right now is a brand new player runs in and they go and kill stuff and then they get like drops. Like this is just like some random drops that I got, right? I got a little bit of item upgrades, which is good because it's like early game power gains. But then the new player like wants to go play or they want to upgrade their house a little bit, right? And so I'm dropping things like jelly, which are resources for crafting other food. So it's like, how does the new player get from this point to like playing again? Do they have to come back here, craft a cooking station, and then craft their jelly? Or should I just be dropping like raw food? That's the other problem is like there's a bunch of items that are dropped and like there's no concept of like what they're for. This is mostly just like a balance problem of like inventory's full. Nice. Yeah, like right now the game loop is you get stuff, you bring it back to your house, so you craft upgrades. Can I drop it off in my home or will it disappear? There's a bank to store items, but the home you can also craft storage chests with wood. And you can store stuff in your chests. If you drop something on the ground, it goes away. Or technically it shows up for everybody. Yeah, it is a little bit tough. Because I feel like there's this big early game drag now where like I've got a bunch of stuff, but I like can't really do anything. Like I almost have to go here and start crafting things. But I feel like the loop is not really like well connected yet. I think two things. One is that there's no like you go play Core Keeper, it's very crafting first. So you build a crafting table and you see like, oh, I need like iron to make like whatever I'm trying to make. But here it's like, oh, I unlocked the sphere. I want to go like fight monsters and stuff. And then like this is more like secondary like progression. Quest called tie stuff together, keep progression moving forward in a way that makes sense to the player. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do. That's like why I ended up adding this quest. Because it kind of like gets you motivated. It's like, oh, I need to make iron ore. So I need to make these things to make iron ore to finish this quest. So I could do another quest in between. Like maybe a quest with this NPC. Where like she needs food for the orphans or something like that. And then it teaches the cooking side of things. Perhaps. They're just like, this game like kind of got kind of big. Design. Like, I feel like I really need to focus on connecting this loop, though, before I keep working on the food rework stuff. Option one is I just drop a bunch of generic food in every drop table. That way people have an easy way to get food in the early biomes, like apples and like little things like that. And I drop a backpack so people can expand their inventory immediately pretty easily. And then the problem is you recall here. It is a bit of a haul just to get over here and bank your stuff. What I could do is this. I could remove the housing portion of I can remove the housing tutorial portion of this and add it as a second quest line where you work with this guy to build a house. And he has you like build specific things. And then I can make another one for food, another quest for food. And this would be a follow-on quest to that. So then the spheres open immediately. You don't go to him, you do the sphere, and then you unlock like 3 quests. Or, yeah, 3 quests, 1, 2, 3. And then you're kind of going here, I don't know. So you talk to him. He would give you some like home improvement quest where you need to get like some rocks or something or whatever. And you give him those resources and he gives you a workbench. Like, hey, bring me 2 wood and 2 rocks and I'll give you a workbench. And then he gives you a workbench. And then you can place it and start crafting from there. And then after that, it's just, I think there's a problem still where this menu is just too complicated. There's just too much stuff that you don't care about yet, like obsidian anvils and things like that. So I think it can be like very condensed. Yeah, that could be just a little quick fetch quest to introduce the housing part. Okay, let me write this down. Non-quest to build. What's up, Chris? How's it going, buddy? Just made some eggs and toast. Nice. That's like a good meal for President's Day. If you really wanted, you could do a quick quest for each crafting station. Yeah, we definitely could for sure. I don't know. Do you like quests? Do you think they're like fun little ways to introduce things? Or is it kind of like, oh man, I wish I could just play? I always thought quests were like a cool way to unlock new content. Like I was, not that I thought it was super cool in RuneScape, but it was always like, if the effort matches the reward, yeah. I always thought in RuneScape it was fun because it was like, it gives you a reason to like do these quests, you know? It like gives you a purpose. You have a quest cape in OSRS? Seriously? It was worth it? Nice. That must have taken forever. Dang, dude. I like quests because if I can't figure stuff on my own, I can just default to quests and still progress. Yeah, okay. I think I won't make them. I won't like lock stuff behind quests, but I'll make little quests that like nudge you in the right direction. Like this one's not going to be like, oh, bring me this and I'll give you a cooking station. It'll be like, hey, I need these meals for the orphans. Can you make me some or something like that? And then you're like, well, how do I make these things? And you go through that path of like figuring out how to cook whatever she needs and getting the resources for it and all of that stuff. So it's not like it's gating the content. It's just that it like nudges you, I think. I think that works. I think for this one though, this will be a gate, a hard gate, just to teach housing. And maybe the reward is he gives you a chest. That's actually a really good idea. Then you immediately get a chest to store stuff in. I like that when you hit Grandmaster quests in OSRS, like DS2, people you met from the past quest show up in a pivotal moment to help. Oh, okay, yeah. That would be cool. I need way more quests before I can start thinking about that stuff, though. I've only got 2 right now. It does. So this would be the first post-tutorial quest. The problem is there's still a gap between. There's still a gap where I'm getting items and not really having a place to store them because I've not learned about housing yet. I think those improve the loop, but I don't think they solve the root cause. I've defeated the coolest crab. Nice. That's a big milestone. I think you get a chat title for that. So like you go in here, you kill a bunch of stuff, you get a lot of items, you bring them back, and then what? Like let's say a player does this immediately after unlocking the sphere, like the animation plays to unlock the sphere, and then they go in and just fight stuff. They come back with this, and then they have like just no direction, I feel like. But maybe that's okay, right? Like maybe it's not such a bad problem to have like a little bit of an open-ended point. Because I think they'll have nudges, they'll have little pop-ups here, like there's a quest here, there's a quest there. And then I'll probably have like, I'm gonna update this to also include questing information, which it doesn't include right now. I'm just trying to like drip feed. I'm trying to drip feed the tutorial a little bit, but I feel like this part is the main sticking point I'm kind of stuck on. Quest showing up to the left will help a lot. Okay, yeah. That's definitely something I have it as high priority to work on. It's in one of my lists somewhere. So yeah, I think I think this nudges people a lot because they see this and they see like, oh, you do this quest or something like that. I think people will follow that path. And I can make this quest hidden behind the housing quest. Like I can make these two quests hidden behind the housing quest for sure. And then, okay, so they go and play, they get these items, they come back. What do they do with it though? I feel like there's a fork there. They either store the items in the bank or they sell them. Or they do this quest, right? To learn how the housing stuff works. They get a storage chest and they store it in their house. Because maybe he's just like, hey, bring me 2 wood or something like that. Bring me 2 wood and 2 rocks. That's maybe too much. I'll just say 2 wood. So then that's a really trivial quest to complete. To learn the housing stuff. And then he gives you a storage chest and then you're like immediately like, oh, I can store my first bag of goods. I think that works perfectly actually. Because I want storage chest. I'm trying to move towards storage chest being the primary mechanism by which people keep items. Boom, boom, boom. Also, I'm glad I moved to upgrading these individually rather than having you to have a bunch of upgrade blocks. Okay. Let's write this down. You need in the notification or in the note, you need questing information, guidance in the notifications area. How many hours of total development? I don't really track my hours, but I've been working on this for 4 years approximately. I think that works though. So they do the quest, they come back, and I'm just gonna make a. Oh, I can't. Hold on. I get my quest reward. I place it down. I might need to make this 8 slots wide. That way they can store like a full inventory of crap. If you're gonna get rid of the bank completely, yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, I'm so I love the idea of a bank for RuneScape. I think it's so much fun, but I think for this game, it doesn't make sense to have a bank. I think it's better just to have them be housing blocks. Because then I can do stuff like this. I can do things where like your crafting station can use inputs from like neighboring storage blocks. So then you can like lay it out a certain way, like put your crafting station there and put a bunch of boxes around it, which have all of your ingredients, or like one big one or something like that, you know? Like an attached storage, if that makes sense. Do you stream every day? I do not stream every day. I'll stream like 3 times a week tops, but usually at least once a week. Between 1 and 3 times a week, I'd say. I usually stream Mondays though. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I think this loop works then. So they go in the sphere, immediately come back. They're guaranteed to have some amount of wood, or at least they're going to discover that there's a wood quest. All right, buddy. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it, man. I hope you enjoyed the game. Thanks for the feedback. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, but have a good night. Boom, boom. Dun, dun, dun. The other funny thing is that I'm only level 3, even after going. I think I maybe would be level 4 if I did the tutorial, though. I feel like some of the loot's too easy to get. I'm not sure, though. Like, this might be just... I get these way too fast, I feel like. But it's nice to get like food like that, I think, which is good. Let's do a dungeon. We'll go speed. Got another Snelmit. Snelm. Oh, there's a bug. That happens a surprisingly lot, or surprisingly frequently. I think this is a good food drop rate. I just think I need more variety in what gets dropped. Boom, boom, boom. Dun, dun, dun. Wait, can I not drag this? Oh, you still drop health potions because that's still a thing. That's right. Okay. This is going to become some kind of food, I think. But yeah, I think for the early game, I think in general for the early game, I need to make things that drop less crafting focused and more immediate consumption focused. I think I just need to keep that in mind. But I think this is fine. I also need to introduce selling things. It's a little tricky, but gold is just a weird, I don't know, it's another weird like tack on problem I have. I don't know. I don't want to agonize on about it too much. I just need something I need to solve the gold problem too. Honey, rockberry. I don't think I dropped these yet, do I? Oh, no, I do. So we should be able to go there and find it. This is too high. We went with 20. Pirate loot 20 for spice. I didn't find any spiced rum. This will also be 20. Bum, 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 bum. Ever consider using a Trello board or something similar? Would maybe easier to people suggest new features, etc. I just use markdown lists. I used Obsidian. I restarted this one. I have big lists like this that I use. Originally this came from Obsidian though, and I tracked it in there, but I found it kind of painful to kind of click through stuff. But it looks a lot better and it looks more like a Trello board. It's just really nice to make lists of things and like check them off and then do it this way for me. But I have a Discord and people suggest stuff in there all the time, and then I just map it over to here. The problem is Trello doesn't scale super well for capturing like all of the little details of stuff that I need to do. So like what happens is it just ends up being like massive. Like I end up with multiple boards, with multiple columns, with multiple whatevers. But I've used Trello in the past. So yeah, let's maybe make some, let's make a few foods that are, I might make this more diagonal, honestly, but whatever. Well, let's not focus on art too much. Let's do, these are ingredients. These are foods. Let's just do some like basic stuff like apples and, I could make coconuts edible. I don't know. It just feels weird. I feel weird dropping like veggies. It does solve a problem, but it's just thematically feels weird. Unless I just do like one, like I just drop apples or something like that. The thing is it's nice because then you can make like apple pies in the future. I could do apples and carrots. And then some kind of berry for like mana, maybe. Health, health. Well, the real tricky part is like I have to make there has to be a gameplay difference between these things. Maybe I do one for healing and one for mana. Some kind of like mana berry and then like apple. I don't know, I maybe like that. Oops. Man, I sometimes like cannot get this thing to zoom. Okay. Wrong one. Oops. I want to make this smaller. Does it look yummy? That looks like an apple. Okay. Next. So many colors in these sometimes. All right, let's see if we can shrink this down. It's really hard to shrink some of these. This could maybe work though. That's pretty decent, I think. I'm gonna take green darker though. Oops. I'm gonna close this. And this would look way more luscious. Maybe I just use the original shapes. Sometimes I don't like them because they're so large. But whatever. I can always redraw it. You can hide the bar at the top in GNOME. Oh yeah, there's this extension called Just Perfection you can install, and you can customize like all of this stuff. You can make GNOME look so much better. Highly recommend it. I want to see pirateship.go. Where do you see that? Was that in my buffer list or something? All right, let me paste this next block and then I'll show it to you so you can see it. It's just the pirate ship set piece. Whoops, typo. Yeah, this is how I configure my game. Instead of using like a config file format like JSON or YAML or TOML to configure monsters and items and things like that, I just do it this way. So I basically just have like a struct that oh gosh. All right, let me know when you're back and I'll explain it. Look, let's add these to the loot. Pirate loot. Or I might do loot table and just do like append. Yeah. Oops, food, apple. Then I can do that and I'll do this. Like 20. Present. So I can take the generic food table and append the crab meat to it and make us more, maybe that's not the right approach. It just sucks to have so many like disparate loot tables for things. What I should probably do is this. Yeah, I think the right solution is this. Generic food table is sorry, I'll explain it in just a minute. I do that, and then I do this. Or hold on. Or I do like, I don't know, what's a third of 20? Like 7? I do something like that. So I take the generic ones and you include them. Then I just make roles, special roles for, okay, I like that. Yeah, but how I do my configs for the game, this is pirateship.go. This is just a set piece definition. Mostly I'm defining what the monster and boss fight's gonna be. So this is like the boss captain. He has a whole state machine of like what he does. And he's got all of his components of like what he drops and like his health and stuff like that. And this is like one of the monster minions that he spawns. But instead of using a like a proper config file format like JSON or YAML or TOML or something like that, I just define everything inside of Go. This is like a separate binary that runs. It builds a binary file for my game to load at launch time. And then it loads all of the databases of things that exist, like items, monsters, weapons, abilities, all that stuff gets loaded in. And then it just becomes available for the game to run and use. So this is how I do configs for Mythfall. So like you can see like an item, I'm just defining it here in a regular Go program that is going to get compiled down to a binary. That thing gets embedded inside the final game binary. So yeah, this is how it looks. Thank you, AMC Max, for the follow. Appreciate it, man. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go with 5s. Sorry, this is gonna be 10. This is gonna be 5. These are like percentages. So 5 is 1 in 20, I think. 10 is 1 in 10. Loot rates revealed. I leak them all the time when I stream, so I don't know why you guys how people don't already know this stuff. I'm surprised I don't see screenshots in the Discord like, oh, the loot table for this is that. I guess my code's just way too hard to read, luckily, or maybe no one ever looks at it. As I'm in loot.go. I thought I had a slime. Okay, this will be the generic food table. I could tier this as well. Do you or have you ever tried to learn any C types for an FPS? Wondering why you choose Go? I'm not a really big FPS player. I played a little bit of Black Ops 2 when I was in college. Like after classes, I'd play it, which was fun, but I'm not a big like FPS player. But Go is pretty similar to C. Or are you saying C the language? I just chose Go because I like it. There's not like any, I don't know. You can pretty much use any language you want these days to make your games. People use terrible engines all the time that are super bloated and slow, and they make games out of them, so. If they can do that, then surely I can use Go. But yeah, if I really wanted to like max performance, then Odin or Zig or Rust is probably like the right call. I definitely understand if you don't want to build an FPS like, yeah. Yeah, like if I was building something that was super duper like input lag based, yeah, you could use C as well, but C is pretty rough. Yeah, I mean, I just like Go. I think Go is just like a simple language that solves most of my problems. So I am interested in like Go-like languages like Odin that do manual allocations, but are also simple. I feel like there's some marriage that exists that hasn't been invented yet that is easy like Go, but like way more higher performance. But I don't yet know what it is. But occasionally I'll vibe code a programming language and see if I can invent something. But I always fail, so. But it's fun. But I've also surprisingly, just by doing that process, I've learned so much about programming languages, like how they operate, because there's so many little micro decisions you have to make about stuff. It's really fascinating stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's go run around and see if. Do you think Manaberry, calling it Manaberry, is too on the nose? I could also just call it a blueberry. Apple pie, blueberry pie. Yeah, maybe blueberry is just better. It's supposed to give you mana though when you eat it. It's not obvious what the right choices are, and it's often not more features. Oh yeah, I agree. It's usually like changing your mindset to think about a problem differently. Boom, boom. Actually, Doug Manaberry. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see if we can get some mana berries. It's crazy how we get the crab meat, which is the rarer drop in our food table. Oh, there's a mana berry. I don't have an ability. I can't I can't even eat my mana. I guess I could eat it. No, I can't eat it because my mana's full. Is Sandy Shores akin to Fallout's Shady Sands name wordplay? No, I never really played Fallout. Nice. I should have read the description. I didn't read it at all. Also, I wonder if I should make coconut a edible thing. What's it called? Cocoa fruit. Oh, also known as a cocoa fruit. What's up, Coding Ram? How's it going? Apple. I played a little bit of Fallout, but don't these just look so large? I feel like these guys should not drop apples. Maybe a smaller brown stem. They're so large. Tough to say if they just look large or if other stuff looks small. Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. Okay. I'm content with that, I think. And then crab meat's like a food special drop thing for the biome, I think. Okay, I feel like that feels pretty good. I think if I redraw, I'm gonna do one big redraw point in this development cycle where I just redraw a bunch of stuff. So I'm not too worried if things look a little inconsistent. I think this one looks a little bit weird, but they both look large, so it's kind of okay, I guess. Just a big apple. Just life in the big apple, I guess. Yeah, there's some chunky apples. All right, well, I need to go eat some lunch, I think. So I'm probably gonna end here. But we're getting closer to the food rework. I'll try to do a deployment today to fix that bug that I mentioned in Discord. Amongst other things like the slag cannon range problem. So, yeah, thank you all for stopping in. Hope you all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.